Hey, this is Dre with Yourself.Podcast. Welcome, honored guests. Today on our panel, we have two chapter presidents of a helping hand organization. One that started in the UK, which is Gav, who we have on the left in the black t-shirt. And then our US chapter president, Keith, who's on the right, trying to bear the heat where he is from. And hopefully we will get through this so that he won't get so hot that he needs to, scoot away in his car. So we'll try to get this through as quickly as we can, but as efficient and as informational as we can. I do want to thank listeners for coming in and to try to learn more about the Helping Hand organization, as their mission is a great one, and we're going to get into what their mission is, how they accomplish their goals, what their future goal is, and everything that is Helping Hand. So welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you for having me.
How are you guys doing today?
Not as good as Keith, because it's cold here in England and it's raining.
Oh, no.
But no, I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. Great pleasure to be on.
Okay.
Yep, I'm good. A little warm, but I'm good.
Yeah, that's how it is here in Las Vegas. We're at 93 today, so we're only climbing.
Oh.
So yeah. But I just wanted to know, Gav, since you started the whole Helping Hand organization, what inspired you to do? What inspired you to create it, and what inspired you to name it Helping Hand?
Well, I suffer from mental health and epilepsy, and I've always wanted to help people, but I watched a lot of stuff on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok of guys that would raise money through GoFundMes and go off and help families, veterans, single mums, single dads. And it like the empathy in me was just, it used to go like, I would love to do something like that. And obviously I didn't really have the money. I'm a single dad to 9 kids. But I thought, how can I help? And we had a group of us together, and Keith come in one night and was in our live, and we got an opportunity to start looking after people with mental health. And I thought, do you know what? I haven't got the money, but I can give my time. So I spoke to the team and they were like, let's go. So then we all spoke. It wasn't just me. We spoke, and I spoke to Bon, who's the other founder, and was like, shall we do it? And they're like, hell yeah, let's just go for it. And we're like, well, we all suffer from something or another. So we make a really good team. So I was like, great. And then I'm like, name.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, I'm not being funny with social media and stuff like that. I wanted something that talks to you, but is very simple. So to me, I was like, how help? And I was trying to get around the help word. And I was like, well, everyone needs a helping hand. And then I originally called it Helping Hands, because there was a group of us. And then basically I went on, I checked the name out, and it was like, nope, that's a company in the north of England. No. So I was like, simple. I'll drop the S, off we go. And it is that simple. It was no brainstorming, nothing. It was very hands-on, speak to the team, it's done. So we just fell into action.
Yeah. And it makes sense because, like you said, it came kind of natural. Everybody needs a helping hand. So, it's
point.
very natural. And could you tell me what the mission is of Helping Hand?
So basically, we are a group of people that have all been through trauma, illnesses, etc. So we run support lives, we call them. Mm-hmm. So we have people come in, and our mission is to look after people that have been through domestic violence, who've been through sexual assault, and suffer with mental health. So the way we've set it up with ourselves in the UK and America, we look after them people. We're not professionals, but we look after them. So in the daytime and in the UK time, we look after them. And then when we're getting tired at nighttime, we send them to the Americas. So we have a platform over 24 hours where people with domestic violence, sexual assault, mental health can come in and be supported and understood by people that have been through it.
Yes.
So we're there basically to just be a support group.
That's
Yeah.
that's really admirable and noble, because it sounds like you create a very safe space for so many people who I know that therapy right now is not very accessible to a lot of people due to either funding or not, or just maybe have gone through therapy so many times that it's just not working, or it just doesn't, they don't connect. But there's other people who have been through situations that they've been through that they can connect with, and seems like it creates that safe space to where, like, yes, that's how I feel, that's, you understand what I'm trying to say. And
100%.
yeah.
Yes.
That is exactly how I met Keith. Exactly how we met Keith, and what we based it all on. Keith one night couldn't sleep. He was having a real rough time. All us crazy English lot were on, and Keith fell into our life, and it was just an instant click.
Yeah.
And he just come in, we started talking, and that was it. And we were doing that before, but that's why we very much took Keith on as our own. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to make him English as possible at the moment. No offense to the English. He's a brother of mine now. He is a brother of mine. But that's how we based it. And it is people that have been through it. They are not going to see the psychiatrist. They're not going to see a doctor. They're speaking to like-minded people that understand situations, scenarios that people can go through in life, rather than it being read from a book.
Right.
And I don't know, for us, it's the bond we get.
Yes. And that's really important for people to have those bonds and those kind of similar situations, because then you can learn how to trust again. And I think that's very important for people.
Yeah.
Keith, I wanted to ask you, what do you think that by joining Helping Hand with Gav, what do you think mental health was it that you were trying to fill for the group?
Well, I think, like Gav said, when I came into their live and saw what they were doing, I went through my own trauma through a narcissistic marriage, and my ex almost ended my life. And going through that, I didn't have a therapist. I didn't have any professionals. And middle of the night, when all the thoughts are going through your head and there's nobody to talk to. And I think that's kind of the thing in the UK and in the US is the healthcare system is so hard to get, appointments and insurance and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this works so well because we're there when other people, aren't available. So it works really well.
So that's why I think that's why so many people are still avoiding to seek help, because, like you said, the insurance, number one, is such a huge ball of red tape, and then to keep trying to find the right therapist, because you just don't click. There's a person on the other screen, or you go into an office and all of a sudden you find this magical person who's going to help you with all your problems. Sometimes,
Right.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you clash completely.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
do you think that this is a good method for people to kind of match up without having to, quote unquote, pay the high price.
Yes, like we said, we're not professionals, but I think that's why it works so well, is that we're not professionals and we've lived the experiences and we can relate. And we hear people say it all the time, is that this is awesome because it forms kind of a bond that we've been through similar situations. And another thing, it also shows the people that are in the beginning stages of a trauma or just getting out of it, that it is possible to heal, it is possible to move on, and we're there to help them through that entire process.
That is very, that not only is being aware of your fellow man or woman, but it's also incredibly kind, incredibly heartfelt. I mean, not a lot of people can do that, and patience as well, because you find people, I'm sure, that come through your organization. They talk about their issues, and you think, "Oh, I've heard this before. This sounds similar to so and so," but you hear the same stories. So, how, Gav,
One more.
Gav, with all of the stuff that you hear on and off on social media, what do you think has helped or harmed the mental health awareness?
I think it helped massively. If I'm truthful with you, I think social media has helped massively. We always hear the downfall of it and people's how can I put it, ignorance to it. People will put social media down. I personally don't think that it's social media or anything like that. It's the people using this. If you look at it, almost, how can I put it? Some of the apps, it's almost like it's taboo to talk about it still. You have to talk in code. You have to use certain words. It was actually really strange to be able to say sexual assault and domestic violence on here tonight because we can't call it that in the parameters we work in. But I think it's helped. If you look at it, Dre, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if me and Keith had been in the situations we were in, I couldn't have spoke to Keith. I couldn't have connected with these beautiful people that has become my team and the wonderful people we get to work with. I think personally, it's worked absolute wonders for mental health. I think it's certain people within certain fields that almost restrict it still. Like I said to you, having to talk in code, be careful what you say. But bringing all them like-minded people together, I personally don't feel alone because I've been there. I still have my bad days. But I have a beautiful team that I can connect with now. I can have Keith that I can speak to. I can have Warrior Woman. I can have Mickey from the team. I can have Pixie. I can have all these people from around the world that I can speak to. And I think social media is actually, for me personally, I will say, it's a massive, massive asset.
Yeah.
In us reaching out to them people that are stuck in their homes. And feel alone.
Yeah.
Right.
So, to me, it's a massive asset. Massive asset.
And do you ever? How do you actually, Keith? Let me ask you this: in all of this, do you have a success story that stands out to you from being one of the co-founders?
Well, we've been at this for a while, and there's so many. We get to see some amazing transformations from people that are in the deepest depths of depression or whatever they're going through. But I think the ultimate success story is saving a human life, and we've had a few of those. And I won't go into the details. That's their story to tell. But just knowing that you were there to give someone the words that sunk in enough to let them know that somebody did care and their life was worth saving. So that's the ultimate success in my eyes. So
And I can tell that it's dear to your heart as well, because
yeah,
I'm sure that you've gotten to know your members, your founders as well. You've worked together to organize, and you get to know each other on a
Yeah.
personal
yeah,
on a personal level. And so I can understand how, for the lack of a better word, how painful that could be to find out that one of your members may have felt suicidal or had suicidal ideologies, and
yeah,
sometimes it's surprising to know who it comes from as well.
yeah.
So I can see how that is. And um, do you think, though, Gav, that have you ever doubted your vision? Doubted your vision to get this off the ground and have as many members as you have, and how do you push through that doubt?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Um, I've I with me, I have to dream big. Because if I get to a wall, I will just stop if I achieve it. But I've had loads of doubters. Going back, I think I was having a conversation with Keith one day, and I went to the chip shop, and we were funny enough talking about TikTok. And there's a guy that knows me in real life, follows me on the app. He drove past Chippy, and all I got was, "Are you still doing your bullshit TikTok?"
Oh
And I'm
no.
like, "You're rude. You are rude," because I'm like, "Do you realize what we're doing? Do you realize how many people are so down? All they need is a kind word."
Mhm.
We get doubted all the time. Obviously, we get the trolls who come in it and try and beat us down, but we don't allow that. We instead, I don't look at it as a team. I look at it as a family.
Mhm.
So if you look at it, we're getting beaten down. We get the hurtful comments. We get the stuff, even in day-to-day life, even from family members. Are like, "Oh, you're on TikTok again?" Like it's pointless. And I'm like, "What did you do with your day? Because I saved a life. I bet you can't say that."
Mhm.
Right.
So to me, I want to say a big thank you to them,
Yeah.
because I have a big, big dream. And believe me, I'm coming to America to fulfill that dream for the American people with my American brother. But thank you, because all you people that doubt me and make that creep into my head, thank you, because you're making me stronger. You're
Yeah.
making the supporters come to us even more. Thank you. I appreciate you. But I think if I don't have a little bit of doubt, I think I'd be lying.
Yeah.
But it drives me stronger. It really does, Jay. We've got a lot coming.
Yeah.
And thank you, haters, because we appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think that people who project that hate out are the ones who are hurt the most inside,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Why not try and bite them, Jay?
they don't know how to they're what they're doing is lashing out because they're so hurt, but because they
Yeah.
see that other people are progressing and they don't know how. When you don't know how to do something or how to deal with something, a lot of times
Yeah.
anger is the first emotion that you feel. So,
Yeah.
and how do you, Keith, how do you protect yourself from your own mental health while helping others people with other people through Helping Hand?
Well, I think it's been kind of a progression. When I first started this, and not knowing anything about a lot of the situations, and we hear some pretty horrific stories, with sexual assaults and childhood assaults and all of that, and it's pretty heavy. But I think we always tell all of our members, you have to take care of yourself first. If you need to step away for a couple days, you can't help other people if you don't take care of yourself first.
Yes.
And that's a big thing that we push with our members. And, I think it's kind of a learning curve. I've gotten a lot better at, being empathetic, so empathetic, you kind of absorb some of those feelings sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just afterwards have to, what I do is I go outside and I do some grounding. I get my feet in the grass and do some breathing, and it comes with practice. With practice, you get better at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you kind of do become, because I thought people were born as empaths, but you're not. You're just born a innocent little baby. You don't have any feelings other than attachment to your mother, who you just came from and was born from.
Yeah.
But I think that over time, with your personal experiences, with friends' experiences, family experiences, you start to learn that, hey, your energy, I can feel the energy. I'm grabbing onto it. It's taking me down, or it's bringing me up. So, so with all that said, Gav, what do you think the long-term dream is for the organization?
I've got a grand dream. I have a really grand dream, and anyone can find this if you come and watch our lives. And it's big. I want to start up and come over to America, and I want what I call the helping hand ranches.
Oh, yes.
This is what I ultimately want. So this will be where we can come together as a team. We can do our lives and everything, but we actually have hardcore on the ground work being done.
Yeah.
People from sexual assault cases, domestic violence cases, people that suffer with mental health but have also been through them situations. We can actually take them out of these situations, put them into places that helping hand have control, where we can work with people and help these people get back into society on their terms, not what someone else is telling them, not looking over their shoulder because the ex. We're going to put them into these places in safety and move forward then, so we can use that to then expand throughout the US, because my dream of setting all that up ultimately is very much needed by the American public.
Yes, I agree.
So I did have another little dream before we were coming on the podcast, which was to set up our own shop to raise awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You're the first to kind of know off of our group. I've already opened the shop.
I feel very honored.
I will get that to you. But yeah, only we want the ranch. I want people on the ground doing the work. I want us to be able to move forward and get legislations changed. I want the government to start accepting and acknowledging us. Do you know what I mean? So we can acknowledge these people that genuinely need help. Like I said, we're not professionals.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can go out there and put a change in and do that in America, as I've said before, if enough of us are stamping our feet as a group, people have to acknowledge that and show acceptance to it. We can therefore make a success of this with our ranches in America, and then we're going to bring it to the UK.
Mm.
So, ironically, an Englishman coming to do it in America, but then we're going to bring it back to the UK. So
Yes.
That is my ultimate goal at the moment, and I'm kind of working on a couple more. But that is my ultimate goal, is to open our own ranch over in America so we can help people out.
That sounds amazing. And I can see it growing from a small space to a bigger space to a clinical space.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the thing is, that is the ultimate dream. If I'm looking at it now, talking to you on this podcast, I want to be over all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be on YouTube. I want to be on Facebook. I want to be on Insta. And obviously, we're based on TikTok, and that is the most easiest app for us to use to reach these people in the deepest, darkest nights when they need us. I want them things out there to advertise us and raise awareness, because there might be someone on Facebook or Instagram that don't really use TikTok. They can go, what are these people about?
Mm-hmm.
They come over, they find us, and just give people a chance. And then just basically educate people that don't go through it. It's about coming together as a community, as a family. Us, the team, are a family. It's about bringing a community together. And you will be the first to know this. I'm currently, after this podcast, I'm loading more merch onto the shop.
Oh my!
For all your Pride Month, sorry.
Yes.
So straight after this podcast, that's the first thing I'm doing. It's the first today. That's what we're getting on. It's always about building. And like I said, we want to change laws. We want the ranch. It is just striving forward and then take it to another country. And we're never going to stop, really. But I'm biased because I've got the best team in the world. Well, so we can only build on that.
I am so thrilled to find out and to be hopefully part of your journey, because that sounds like an exciting mirrored journey that I've been on, is to get the word out to not just, that's why I chose this platform, because it's not just an American problem, it's a world problem. And there are people who don't even have internet availability, who don't even know that. Can you imagine living still third world problems and not knowing that is real anxiety? Bombs going off in their country. How can you not live with anxiety and fear and just complete chaos, and not have it affect your brain, your mental side, your psyche, your soul, everything, that it can affect your entire body, physically and mentally. And so that's why I am so thrilled to kind of go side by side, or maybe follow you guys along to see where you are headed, because there are so many people who have issues, have admitted to having issues, have been able to talk to people about their issues, but then there's those that are still afraid and have not had the opportunity to speak to others about their issues. And Keith, if you can tell listeners how they can support or get involved with your mission. Could you give us a little bit of highlight how they could do that?
Sure. Well, like Gav said, I mean, our merch shop, monetarily, if they want to do that. But just so Gav and I do a lot of the men with the men, because men are conditioned to keep their feelings inside and not speak out. Mm-hmm. So we are looking for men to come in, to open up and share. We're trying to break the stigma around that. I mean, we have all kinds of different things for women's. We have karaoke, we have spiritual, we have prayer rooms. But I just think just coming in and participating and see what we do. Because awareness is another thing, that just the everyday people that aren't aware of these situations, and mental health affects everything that you do in life. And awareness of that and getting people involved can just help grow this so much faster.
That's very true.
But we'll keep saying that. Keith is me and Keith actually spoke about this. And we try and say this in our lives, especially the men. And me and Keith actively talk about this beyond book. When we go in, we always try and say to people, look, we don't expect you to come straight in and jump straight in a box and tell your life story. Come in, listen. If you are that person sat on the FYP, please don't think you're not welcome. Sit there, learn about us, listen to our voices. Maybe just come in and sit in the comments. We've had several people that have done that. They've spotted us before. They've come in, they've sat in the comments for a couple of months. Then they will kind of almost like ask to come in the box, and they do. And then before you know it, they're turning their camera on and starting to open up. Yeah. And Keith is one of them good ones at getting people to come in and do that. But with the men, it is very hard work, like Keith said. And everyone is welcome. The only thing we say is there's good and bad in all. We don't want the bad people. We're not there to mock or use silly names or whatever else. Everyone is welcome. And as long as you're in with us and you're listening, just comment in and you feel safe, our job for that night's done. And when we go to sleep, we start again. So don't ever think you're alone, people.
Well, I would propose this last one of the last questions that I have for both of you in knowing that now that you've explained that men are, and I agree with that, men are expected to be broad-shouldered, heavy carriers, not releasing too much feelings, softer feelings, vulnerable feelings, feelings of maybe sometimes even failure. And I do understand that men need that space. And I'm so glad that you allow that and you've explained what's the easiest way to do that for them is to just come in, just slowly take these slow baby steps if you need to, and then finally get in there and just, get to know the fellas, get to know the guys that are in the group, and then maybe slowly start to express your story. And it doesn't even have to be all at once. It can be chunk by chunk or, piece by piece, moment by seed, however it comes out. And I commend you both for allowing that space for men. This is very, very important because men seem to have to, it's like a pressure building machine. And once it blows, you never know what you're going to get. And so it's very important for that. But if both of you could give me, and you can choose whoever wants to go first, if one person today is listening and feels the hopelessness, feels the loneliness, feels the fact that I think I'm alone in this one because, yes, everybody's gone through these major things or these minor things, but I think that for me, it's too much to bear. What would you say to those people?
I think the first thing that I always try to say to somebody is we see you. You do matter. No matter what you've gone through, you matter, you are seen, and you are worthy of love. You're not defined by your past.
Well, what could I say? You are loved. We love you coming into our lives, and we love you as people. We care, and people do care about you. So even though you feel like you're in the deepest, darkest moments, there are people around you that care. Without a doubt, and backing up what Keith said, you do matter. Because when you're at that low point, I've been there myself, so I get you. but you do matter. But more than anything, the most thing I would say to people, when we say this in our lives, you are not alone. You are not alone. You may feel like you are, we get you, we understand you, but you're not. Jump in that life. Just show us you're there, because the bonds we've grown, and most of the team are beyond there all the time. Yeah. But we tell each other we love each other, that each other matters, that you are loved, you are seen, you are heard. All these things. And it's not just the team. We see you people out there. So don't think you're not worthy. You are 100%. And we'd be more than happy for you to come into our lives and just talk. You're not going to be pushed. You're not going to be pressured. Yeah. But you do matter. You're in. How can I put it? I say this on the lives all the time. God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. Now, you people out there listening, you are the warrior. You are that warrior, because most other people couldn't endure what you've been through. And guess who has? You have. You turned up to watch this podcast. You will turn up to watch our lives. So you matter. And you are a warrior like the rest of the survivors that come through our rooms. So you do matter, and we love you.
Well, that is... that is incredibly touching. Yeah. You know, being a host of a podcast that where I hear a lot of stories of trauma and mental health issues myself, I find myself holding back tears sometimes because of the worst that people have been through. But what you just said has again brought me to tears, because it's in a different view. Because even though I can be strong enough to hold a podcast and hold myself together and be composed, there are times when even I need to hear the words that you've said and expressed today, because I also have a story. I also have a background. I also have extreme child trauma that I made it through in my life, and adult trauma that I made it through in my life. And I truly believe also that God didn't put us here on this earth just to suffer. I do believe that our Creator made us to, because life, you need to suffer for a certain amount to be able to learn and grow. But at the same time, he's not saying, here you go, you're going to suffer and you're going to do it alone, figure it out alone. No, he's created a pathway for you. Yeah. So that in case you do find yourself in that puddle of mud, you can find the clear waters, and you can wash yourself of that, and you can be clean of that. And so, and there's organizations and people need people. And I believe that your mission is such a great, awesome, fulfilling place where people can come and feel, not only, maybe they're not at the point where they feel that there is a creator or that there is a God. Maybe they're not at that point yet. But I believe that with your mission, your words, your words of encouragement, your words of kindness, your proven of being there 24/7 will get them to a point to know that they are loved by not just others here, but by a greater creator, and that they are worth a life. Yes. So
It's like you're saying there, Dre. You have your story, and we know you off of this podcast. And to anyone who watches this podcast, Dre does support our group. She turns up in our lives. She is a great supporter to us, and I want to say thank you for the opportunity you've given us, Dre. But you are right. Sometimes you never know how you can change someone's life with words. Like, the tongue is the most devilish thing on the planet. You can make somebody or break someone with a sentence. So I'll tell you what, just be kind to someone today. You never know. It might be that word of encouragement you give someone that turns a life completely around. So just be kind to people.
that is very, very true. Very true. And Gav, if you could just give us some info on where people can find Helping Hand, what platforms, and a little bit about your merch. Like you said, you've broken out with that. Is that available already?
Yeah, you can go. So what we've done, we are based on TikTok, people. Some Helping Hand stuff is shared to FB by members, by Facebook by members. But we are based on TikTok. So you have the Helping Hand homepage, which is run by myself.
Okay.
And then my main account is GavG, and obviously Keith. And then everyone is within the Helping Hand homepage. You can find all our members within that. The merch shop you can go to now is tagged and linked in my bio. It is linked in Keith's bio, and it is linked in Warrior Woman's bio.
Okay.
You can go on there, check it out. We range from sliders to t-shirts to I've had to get Keith tank tops, bumper stickers. It's about supporting so we can put all this hard work and move forward towards the Helping Hand Ranch and actually help people on the ground out in the public. But will be the easiest way to find us.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I certainly greatly appreciate your time today, gentlemen. I was overwhelmed by your kind words. I still am. I'm trying to keep my composure. But I appreciate all the help that you're doing around the world, and even helping me with my podcast and helping my listeners. And I hope that we can get you more followers, more people that will come to have you come to their rescue by having them join into Helping Hand. And I hope that I wish you all the success in your journey and in your endeavors. And hopefully, we will have you back again with some more success stories, and hopefully with some more construction on the Helping Hand houses or the Helping Hand ranches. And like I said, if you need any help from Brace Yourself, we are here to help. And I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being on the podcast. And with that, I'd like to thank also our listeners for coming in and listening to this awesome program of Helping Hand and their mission, their capability of reaching so many people in need and reaching out and helping out and actively opening their arms to those of us who need their help and need someone to talk to. We appreciate it very much. And if you'd like to be a guest here on Brace Yourself.podcast, you can always find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, you can always use the old-fashioned way of brace your mental health at gmail.com. And with all that, I'm Dre, your infamous guest, host, whatever. And that's a wrap. Thank you very much.